It was the hardest drop ever. So as some of you know, my name is Elim and I have a little clothing brand in Indian Guinea, which I started 2 summers ago. Right now it's a bit in a mixed condition and I'm still having a lot of issues to solve and trying to develop the brand. But overall, drops were not like super hard to create. But this one was like the hardest. It was just a nightmare. I started it 2 summers ago with the idea that I wanted to try making clothes, because back in the day I was just customizing clothes, buying some nice kind of clothes in second hands and writing something on them, drawing something on them and selling. And then I wanted to just make it more available to the mass, improve my design making and graphic design skills, which at the time I didn't have. Really like learning from scratch how to use Adobe and just to make clothes for my brand. And the second reason why I started this brand was the idea of eliminate, which is a phrase in Kyrgyz language which is usually used to kind of shame and limit your creativity, your dreams, your kind of childish nature, your true inner nature, I would say. And the phrase itself means what would people say, and it's used in the context of when you want to, I don't know, become an artist or 25 years old and you're a girl or a boy, whatever, and they use it like, okay, you have to get married, what would people say, you're useless and all that. So I didn't like that idea and I wanted to rather inspire people to dream, to create stuff and be themselves, not to be limited by all this kind of pressure that society puts on us. So that's why I started, and overall, as I said, 6 drops have passed, and only now I feel like it was the worst, just basic nightmare, and here's why. So as I said, because of this kind of weird in-between state where it was kind of growing but it was stuck and all these organizational and operational matters were quite in bad shape, I wanted to make this summer the glow-up summer, the transformational summer where we would kind of take the next step, make it more systematic and just introduce new pieces, new categories of clothing, and just really grow the brand, grow the audience, grow the community. But it didn't really happen as planned, because when I came back this summer I knew that the production place that we used the first 2 summers was not available anymore because they moved to another place, so I had to switch, and I knew it would be quite a challenge, but I didn't know how challenging it would actually be. Just bought some textile for the new drop. Let's go. I was just designing the last pieces for this upcoming drop. I have been designing the labels for the t-shirts and all the stuff for this first drop of this summer, and I just want to try a lot of new different things hopefully this summer and expand beyond just t-shirts, long sleeves and all that. But I'm really excited. Hopefully soon we're gonna have the clothes. Basically when I came back in the beginning of summer, I started looking for new partners where I could actually produce the clothes. There were quite several problems. The first one being that our drops are quite small in quantity, I would say, and the second one that we really want the highest quality possible of the clothing and of the textile and all that. So there was quite another issue. So after searching for a couple of weeks, I found this one factory kinda, which was called the Standard of Quality. Ironically, we started the process with them. I brought them the samples from last year's that we had and everything. They said, it's so easy, we can do it even better for you. I told them, okay, we buy the textile ourselves. I prepare all the parts, all the clothing tags and everything, the designs by myself. You just have to glue the things together and sew them. That's it. So we started making the samples, and back then I started noticing that everything was not going the right way. Basically it was taking too long. The first samples were like really weird. It was like short, you know, the sleeves were like until here, but they're also like so slim. Then it started taking even more for cutting the pieces and everything, and then okay, so basically we just received parts for the future t-shirts that we're gonna have. I don't know, just this year the first drop is really harsh. I have this overwhelming feeling of frustration because this took really too long, and I have quite a lot of anger, but I guess that's just what I gotta do. Fucking noise. Go on with it, try my best not to fuck it up from here, and try to find better people to work with, I guess. Because apparently you cannot trust. Okay, what I'm gonna do now is try to just write down how many of which print we want to produce, because our resources are limited, and I don't know, it's just a lot of struggles. It's even harder this way now to just get this train going because it's the first drop of the year and all that bullshit. Work in progress. Okay, I finished. I just sorted them out. Later on I'm gonna put them in different bags, so while printing, the guys there, they're not gonna mess them up. And just additionally I'm gonna add some little papers, so it's not gonna be messed up for sure. In that really weird date when I couldn't do anything because we bought the textile, we gave it to them, and it was somewhere there. I couldn't change the production place because it was already in the middle of the process, but also I couldn't produce new designs, new clothes, because all my money was stuck in the drop, and because I have quite limited resources, I was just waiting. And I would usually assume that I would get burnt out sometime, but I wouldn't really think that it would happen because of me not overdoing something, but just waiting for something to be done. And that's what happened this summer. Just 2 months passed by, nothing was pretty much ready, and all this, okay, it's gonna be ready tomorrow, turned into weeks, a lot of arguments with them, and it was really a lot of anger in me, just compounding, and I really hated that state, being so kind of stiff, not the best times. So after almost 2 months of waiting and having pretty much nothing done, it turned out that they had no clue what they were doing. Basically, they couldn't even properly construct the t-shirts. All these lines were like really weird, not straight, and the quality was really bad. In the middle of the process, they directly said that everything is messed up, they cannot finish it, they're not gonna finish it, and basically there were quite a lot of fights and arguments, and it all ended up with me just taking all the stuff. Half of the clothes were in a really bad condition, and all of them didn't have this, I don't know how it's called in English, this part attached. Then I started searching for new places, and it was also hard because now who's gonna take the t-shirts in the middle of the process and correct the fuck-ups of other people, of other production? Through my friends, through asking people around and all that, I could finally find a new place. I was quite relieved with, but there were quite a lot of work left to do as well. Okay, as you can see, there was a big fiasco with this drop, so everything was mixed up and the sizes were mixed up and all that because we were switching up the production place because they fucked up, and basically they didn't want to finish the thing because it kind of seemed too hard for them and no one wanted to take the job. I'm resorting all the stuff, so it can be easy to just sew everything by sizes. It's taking quite some time. I'm done with the black ones. Now I'm gonna proceed to then after all these fightings and when I took all that stuff away from them, I feel like it was one of the most relieving moments of this summer. Even though I was realizing that I had to now fix all these fuck-ups and all these problems, I was really kind of happy in a way because I could actually feel myself in control and actually being able to do that. Actually seeing the clothes, not clothes, but just the pieces of textile there, and just kind of even being able to analyze and see what steps I can take so somehow I can get it done. It was quite funny because this drop I was pretty much involved physically in making every t-shirt of this drop because I don't know, we had this problem with the form of the t-shirts where in the beginning stages when they were the first production place was making the samples, they did this part of the t-shirt not right, so you know when you were wearing them it was always like there is a bump here, so I physically cut all these pieces of textile so it could fit the right way. After like a week of quite hard work being there, figuring out stuff one by one, we got the clothes done. Quite relieving at the same time, but I knew that drop was not gonna be the big success. It was already a bit fucked up and it was too late because it was planned for the beginning of summer. Some of the designs were directly related to the beginning of summer. For example, the watermelon print. But yeah, then I was realizing that there is no time to be sad because I was leaving soon as well. So I had to do the photo shoot and just launch the drop finally. So for me, almost always the most exciting part of making a drop happen is the kind of photo shoot and the creative marketing part where I can find new different ways and just taking photos on my, I don't know, film camera, on my this camera. The most fun part when you can see the ready product than being able to see people wear it. Especially this summer, I was getting quite a lot of ideas and more confidence and just having more creativity in this process, because as you know, only recently, beginning this year, I started getting deeper into filmmaking, and I got my first ever digital camera and shooting a lot of videos, films and everything. I was kind of creating my own vision and style. I wanted to experiment and improve my filmmaking even more with my brand. When I had the clothes ready, we made this little video on this little bazaar in Bishkek, on this little market, using the watermelons and granny that we found there, and just my friend Ayana really helped me with that as well, thanks to her. And it was just like a little fun idea that I wrote down when I was actually making the design for this t-shirt.
Айланайын балам, bu арбуздарың қаншада екен? Жақшысынан ең соңынан мага бирди бер, балдарым алып барып берип майрам кылайын.
Азыр сизге эң дамнысын берейин, э?
Ай, бул эмне деген сонун немең?
Апа, бул эмди 20-24 жакында чыгат. Апа.
Ой, рахмат, өмүрлүү бактылуу болгула. Соодаңар жакшы болсун.
I wanted for this drop to have this vibe of villages and overall the vibe of summer Kyrgyzstan, bring the aesthetic to the photos and to the drop. So that's why I decided to go to a nearby village near Bishkek, and we shot pretty much all the photos there. It was quite improvised, as I like. We just knew what kind of pictures we wanted, and then we just started walking around, seeing what ideas we can have, shooting some videos for the backstage as well, and it turned out to be quite fun. Я взял. Then I did the second part of the photo shoot on the same bazaar that we shot the first promo video for the drop. It was also quite fun, really free format, and I think the photos turned out to be quite fun. This drop, the new thing that we introduced was kind of this studio photos of t-shirts, just for making it easy for customers to see the actual product, not just only on the models, but just the product itself. My friend Joel Dubai, who is a photographer in Bishkek, really helped me well with that as well. I really like how the pictures turned out. So yeah, that was, to be honest, the most fun part of this summer, I feel like, almost, where I could actually kind of breathe out for a moment, and then I started editing all the photos, and then one day I posted everything. For me, you know, the posting day is most of the time not the most exciting day, because I don't know, still when you spend quite a lot of time doing something, you still have some expectations how it should turn out. Okay, I just dropped all the stuff, and I don't know, I'm just a bit sucked out a bit right now, but it's okay. I just need some time. Maybe I'll go out to breathe some fresh air right now, and just gotta start working from tomorrow. The next chapter starts. You just kind of accept it. Okay, I posted it now. Just stay there for a minute and let's start figuring out how we can actually get more exposure to it. Because of this thing that we were doing drops only in summers, the audience was not the most active, and that was the problem last year as well, and it was not something unheard of. But yeah, then I started figuring out how we could actually get this machine going. I had a little trip to Almaty, which is in Kazakhstan, to give some t-shirts to influencers, and still right now I'm in the process of actually getting more exposure to the drop. So I guess you can check out the things on Instagram as well. And that's how this quite adventurous drop got done. Still, even though there were quite a lot of mixed emotions and feelings there, I'm quite glad that I could actually take it to the finish state. I was buying some nuts, cultural stuff for the drop, so we can add them.
يا ابني هو من البول.
Basically, we're gonna have a little addition, little bonus for all the orders, and especially I feel like it's gonna be fun for those who are from outside of Kyrgyzstan, so they can taste a bit of our stuff. And because all these little things and all these nuts are actually from Kyrgyzstan, I think it's even a little bit more special. And these are little snacks called khurut. They're a bit salty, but they're kind of like traditional ones, and we quite love them here. So I feel like new experience is always nice, especially when you don't expect to get it. But overall, I feel like this drop was quite teaching in a way, and I learned quite a lot of things. I don't know, for example, just that you have to learn to look deeper, the professional, the nice outer image of people. Just really try to see how they are as a person, and really try to oblige all the actions and procedures with documents. You never know, even though it's like a little transaction, if you have an opportunity. I feel like I could really improve my problem solving skills immediately when they arise. You just, okay, try not to overthink the things, to realize what things you can control, what things you're not controlling, and just solve the problems in a moment as they arise, little by little, one step at a time. And yeah, I really want to continue developing this brand. I really love the idea. I want to continue inspiring people, and I want to continue expanding the community of our still little brand. And I really love the idea that it serves as a great platform for me to express myself creatively, to try new formats of clothing, new formats of design. If you have this sort of ideas or endeavors that you've been wanting to start for quite a long time, but you've been afraid, I feel like you should always try. Even though you realize that there are gonna be hardships, I feel like despite that, it's almost always worth it. And in every bad experience, there's something to learn, there's something positive, there's some improvement in you as a person. Don't be afraid to trust yourself, to trust that you can create things, you can improve, you can express yourself. Don't be afraid to be yourself. Do things, create things, do fun things. So yeah, this was a little story tell about how I, a 21-year-old, is trying to develop this little brand, trying to learn things, figure out himself. And thanks for watching, guys. It was Ilim, Rahmat. Peace out. There's gonna be quite a lot of new videos here, new films, new formats, so you can subscribe, and peace out. Out.